Prashanth Neel, welcome to CNN News 18.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Prashant, we are just few hours away from the release of your film Salaar Part 1. The trailer looks very promising. It looks like it's really made for the big screen. What are you feeling right now? Nervous, anxious, or excited?
No, sir.
What are you looking forward to the most from the audiences?
I'm hoping they like the drama. I'm hoping they like the emotion. Up and above the scale and all the action sequences, I think they're just embellishments. I'm just really hoping that they really like the story of Deva and Varda. That is the intention of the movie also.
So, like, there are many fan theories which are doing the round. Some are comparing it, some are saying that it is inspired by Mahabharata. What can we expect from Salaar?
I put it in the trailer, and I was uh, excited by that very line when I came up with it. That the two best friends become the two biggest enemies, and uh, Mahabharata and Ramayana have come up with every possible emotion or story. I don't think we can. I think we all draw from that ocean. Um, but the story of two best friends and how they become the two biggest enemies and what happens in a situation like that. I want to tell this. I want to tell the journey of how they became friends and how big friends they were and how did they turn into foes. So that is the one thing that I was excited with when I started making this, and that is exactly what I want to show. So, but it is going to take me 6 hours to tell you that. I'm just presenting the first 3 hours tomorrow.
So then what is it that every director has something to say with its story? What is it that you want to say with Salah? The message.
I don't give out messages. I think even if you take messages from my movie, they don't turn out to be the best messages. I don't think KGF had a message to tell. I'm just telling you the story of two individuals and how they are reacting in an environment which is uh, can be best described as dystopia. That comes through Khansar.
Yeah.
And in a violent world, you're going to see a friendship blossom and a friendship turn sour. Yeah.
The film is titled Salar Part 1 Ceasefire, which means you already have written Part 2 of the film. Now, you have made two films in the KGF world. What, according to you, a film must offer with its sequel that you think will compel the audience to flock theatres?
It has to have the drama. And the only reason that we made Salaar into two parts is I would liken this movie to a Bahubali more than I would liken it to a KGF because of the drama that it had, that Bahubali had, just within 4 or 5 characters. They created such a phenomenal story. S.S. Rajamouli is probably one of the best craftsmen when it comes to something like that. And we drew inspiration from something like that, that the drama has to sit well. And I was not able to show this drama in just 3 hours. I was not capable of making it in 3 hours. And that was that is when we took the decision of making it into two parts.
You're not less than many successful storytellers that we have in India. I mean, you're a big dreamer. I'm a big fan of yours, Prashant. Prabhas made a huge splash with Bahubali. The whole country was in love with him and still is. But his last film, Saho, Radhesham, and Adipurush, did not perform well at the box office. Do you think with Salar he'll bounce back and will get audience acceptance from the Hindi belt as well?
I don't think we make a movie to say we want to enhance his career or this career or whatever. We start with just the storytelling. It was very exciting for me to take this story to him because of all the movies that I've absolutely loved watching when he was beginning his career. The innocence, the fieriness that he had, and all of those things. And I think the last three movies that he made should not deter everybody. I don't know why why it seems like that. His way of he wanted to present a different story every single time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. 90% of all movies fail every year, and it just fallen in that bracket. Our agenda is not to enhance somebody's career. If it does get enhanced, then it is a bonus. We're here to tell a story and I think the storytelling should take precedence above everybody else. Not me, not Prabhas sir, not Prithviraj, nobody. I think everybody has to understand that we are telling you a different story this time, and I have to convince you with that story. And all of us have put in that equal effort. And if it enhances Prabhas's career, I think it will. Uh, Salaar is not going to enhance it. His reputation was already preceding him before. It is just going to give him that small nudge for bigger things.
Sure, sure. Tinu Anand has compared you with Frank Capra. He said, Prashant, even go and explain the background actors what they are doing in the scene. Do you think even someone who is in the crowd doing any action makes a difference?
It does, it does, but I think that is more. How do I put this? It's like a flaw that I might have. That I want everybody to do that perfect bit of acting, but it necessarily does not apply. It goes from person to person. I generally design my movies around the frame looking perfect, and for that the actors have to look perfect. So that is how I look at it. Probably people won't notice it the first few days that they're in the theater, but after that they probably will.
I think they will. Prashant, you've been pushing boundaries with your films. You have this wild imagination and the skill that we have seen in your film. What are your dreams like? Like, when you actually imagine this kingdom of Khansar?
But there was no wild image. Khansar is made of three tribes, and they date back to 1,000 years back. And those three tribes get together and they do what they do, and then they build this modern city. And that was that. I wanted to tell a dystopian world in a very different way, and I wanted to create enough drama. Uh, I wanted to create enough baddies and everything in a world like that where this friendship would be tested to its level. And I could not imagine doing it in a very, very normal world, the world that we live in, and we are so blessed to live in a very normal world. I could not think about uh, uh, putting in this friendship in a place like that. And that is why I had to do what I had to do with Khansar.
And what are your dreams like? And do you dream about this dystopian world a lot?
I think I draw that inspiration from World War II and all the movies that have been made around that. And I see that the emotion and everything behind that is much higher. I've loved those movies that have been made on World War II and World War One. So I try to create an environment like that. It's not like I'm going to make every movie like that. It's just that these stories had to be told in that way. So that is why I created them. I'm going further. I don't think I can come up with better worlds.
With KGF, you have really established Yash as a pan-India star.
I haven't done it. He's done it for himself.
Then what are the boxes you think that need to be ticked in order to break the language barrier when you're making a film of that scale?
Emotion and drama. I think emotion and drama. I don't think KGF will exist without the mother in it. Uh, I think it would have been just another movie. The bond between the mother and the son. I think that emotion is something that connected everybody. You think about it, and it connects everybody. And I'm doing the same thing with friendship this time. I want everybody to call their friends a Salaar. That is that is what I want to achieve with something like this. And I think it is those human relations that you take, whether it is here or you want to make it in Mars, wherever you want to make it. It still holds good, that principle that you have to show human values the best that you can.
Now, having made 4 films as a director, do you know your comfort zone now? I mean, what is your comfort zone, if I can ask you?
My comfort zone are always my technicians. My technicians, they're world class. Everything that every time somebody says Prashanth Neel is a good director, all that accolades have to go to my technicians, because without them I cannot be who I am. And because of their prowess, their technical prowess, and their ability to judge cinema, I'm here. I wouldn't exist without them.
Today everybody wants to make this pan India film. You had Sanjay Dutt in KGF. Karan Johar, of course, came at the trailer launch of KGF 2. Is there now a plan to cast a Bollywood hero in one of your directorial venture?
See that when Bahubali 1 came out, you didn't know any one of them. And when KGF 1 came out, you didn't know any one of them. It was only in KGF 2 that we had already planned to bring in a Sanjay Dutt, whether it worked in the Hindi belt or not. So when you stick to your guns and you make a movie that is very pure and true to what you set out to make in the first place, instead of manipulating it by saying, I want to bring in an A-lister and then give him a little extra part that will ruin the whole essence of the movie. I don't think we'll do that necessarily. I would love to. There are some brilliant actors in Bollywood, and if they are the right choice, then I will pursue them and hunt them down and make sure that they're in the movie.
Today Hollywood has a lot of interest in India, especially after RRR's Oscar win. They are very keen to collaborate with directors from South India. Are there talks going on between you and Hollywood studios who wants to collaborate with you?
Everybody is not a SS Rajmouli, so we'll have to get there for things like that to happen. But no, I'm not there yet, and nobody has approached me.
Then what do you say about those comparisons of Salaar with KGF? And when do you think we can expect KGF 3 and the second part of Salaar?
We have to see the result tomorrow. I'm not the ones who's going to count my chickens before they hatch. I I want to see the response of the audience, and usually you get a feedback from the audience what they liked in the movie, what they didn't like. Of course, the story is set, and we're ready to go with Salaar 2. But I just need to take a break. I just got off KGF and I was into Salaar. I need to take a break from that. KGF 3 will happen. KGF 3 is also a script that was already written. Otherwise, we wouldn't put it in part 2. But in the end of part 2, that we were making KGF 3. It's just that we have to align again. The Yash has a lot of commitments, and Vijay sir has a lot of commitments of his own. And a project like KGF 3 cannot be done with multiple things going on. We just have to clear our schedules one day, and we're going to start it.
Then, the obvious question, what is the strategy behind releasing Salaar along with Dunki, knowing that it will impact the film business?
That was not a call that was made by me or Prabhas sir or Prithvi sir. None of us wanted that situation. That's a call that is made by the production. And that's probably one of the very few things that he had asked from us. That, he's somebody who believes in astrology a lot. And he does not deviate from that. It has worked for him every single time before. So that was the only date that we had. We apologized to their team also because they had announced first. It's not a good thing for anybody to be putting their movie in a date which has been announced, and they had announced a year before. So apologies from the whole team to the team of Dunki, because we did not want a situation like that to come. And they're obviously colossal. Rajkumar sir and Shah Rukh sir, they're colossal. We didn't want a situation like that, but it came up only because of the astrology and everything else, and what Vijay sir believes in more.
I actually wanted to ask you, cinema unites everybody. Your film doesn't binding it. You just don't belong to one part of India. You belong to whole India. Everybody loves you. In this case, what do you have to say about these fans or the people who are trying to create this North versus South divide?
There are a handful of people who will always do that. They're very passionate about what they do. It's never right, but you can never control them also at the same time. It's just that emotions get the better of you in a situation like that. And having a competition like that, I don't think any one of us do cinema for competition. We do it for our livelihood. And people usually don't understand something like that. It's just that Shah Rukh sir is so big, and Prabhas sir is so big, and just tempers flare, when you say that he's better or box office numbers are going to be compared. I don't think box office is ever going to define whether you're a big star or not. They're big stars because of everything that they have done for 30 years, 20 years. I don't think that will define anything, and it is bound to happen. I was just a pure fan at one point of time, and I would have rooted for my hero. And that is just momentary, I think it will pass. And it's not right. Basically, it's not right, but it happens.
music has always been very big part of our films. Very curious to know what role does music play in Prashant Neel's films, and will you ever make a musical?
I see any song or anything should be a background music. I feel that it has to be a part of the film. It should not get you out of it. Of course, I have done that with KGF one. I tried to make a special number and all of those things, but that was just to enhance the market. Now you understand. People have moved on after COVID. They have the exposure of the entire world in front of them. They've watched every content under the sun, and it just makes sense to tell a story. And if the song is a part of the story, then you should tell it. That's the way I look at it, and that's the way I want to make these movies. That is why I don't have a very huge popular commercial number in Salaar. Though
Yeah.
we planned it, but we did not. We could not execute it because it was not in tune with the story.
And finally, what do you think audience going to take away when they are going to experience this imaginary tale by everyone's favorite director Prashant Neel on Friday in
I don't know
cinemas?
about I don't know about everyone's favorite director, but I just want them to come and see uh, this blossoming friendship between Deva and Varda and all the other characters. They've done a fantastic job of supporting a wonderful story like this. I'm saying wonderful. I should not be saying that. People should be saying that. But I just want them to come in and enjoy the friendship and see how that translates into enmity at some point or the other.
Well, here's wishing you best of luck for Salaar and for your upcoming projects. Looking forward to watch Salaar on the big screen. Thank you so much for your time and
Thank
best
you
of
so
luck.
much. Thank you
Thank
so much.
thank you.